everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very important video. This is probably the most important video that I'm ever going to make, because at the end of the day, respiratory is our job. Yes, we love what we do, but it's all about money, and we got into this field so we could afford our lifestyle, have a way to pay for the things that we need and the things that we want. What I'm going to teach you all today is how to save money and how to manage your money well when you're in the respiratory career. You can be a new grad, you could be a seasoned therapist, you could be anybody, and money managing is very important, because when you manage your money, you can save for things, you could go on trips, you could have fun, you could live your life. And one thing I will stress, I'm not big on working so much that you don't even have time to spend your money. So I'm going to teach you all how to manage your money really well, how to make sure you save, how to make sure you pay your bills, and also have a little fun. I believe that's important when you're in your respiratory career. So I wrote some things down just so I could make sure I touch on everything. Let's get started. When I started respiratory therapist, I wasn't a traveler, and that's the misconception everyone has. They feel like, oh, I want to be a traveler. All these TikTok videos, all these YouTube videos, y'all seeing all these nurses, respiratory therapists, you see that everybody was traveling during the pandemic time, and they were making a lot of money, and they had these little high-rise apartments, condos, had these Mercedes-Benz and all this stuff, and you can still get that, but just keep in mind, traveling was a different time than it is currently as of now. You can still make money, but you're not going to make as much money as COVID. You can't start off traveling. You can't just travel right away. Like, you can in some circumstances. I did started traveling after 6 months, which I wouldn't recommend, but it's not the same as with COVID. Unless some other disease or virus comes out, it's not really going to be like that. So I'm going to teach you all how to manage your money, how to still afford your lifestyle, how to still get things you want and live luxury with the respiratory salary that you may start off with. Or if you're a traveler, or if you're a seasoned therapist and you just get like 40 something an hour, I'm just going to teach you all how I manage my money. And if you all have tips and suggestions on how you all manage your money, then let me know. But the way I do it, I save enough, I still go on trips, I have fun, and like I said, I did travel. So I was in the pandemic era where people were making a lot of money, and that did put me ahead. But still, as a respiratory therapist, me making a normal salary right now, I do not travel, I do not get weekly checks, still doing pretty good. Comfortable, I'm moving to a house, and yeah, I'm doing pretty good. So let me show y'all how to do good. When I first started respiratory, I wasn't traveling. I was just a staff therapist, and I did have money saved up from college because I knew I was going to be moving to an apartment. I was going to be moving to Orlando. So I had about $3,000 saved up. What I did with that $3,000 is I paid my rent up. When you get big lump sums of money, you should pay your bills up, pay as much as you can, or add them to your savings. Don't go and spend through it. Oh, let me do this, let me do that. No, because that lump sum of money can put you ahead. If you have a savings while you're still in school, or you have a job while you're still in school, save up your money so when you move to your apartment, when you graduate or whatever, you can have money saved up so you won't be living paycheck to paycheck. That's personally what I did. It worked out well for me, and that kind of gave me a head start. And ever since I started respiratory and I had that savings, my savings has never been like even 1,000. It's been more than that. So that shows you that save up your money, because it'll put you a step ahead, and you will always continue to save as long as you manage your money well. Starting off in a respiratory salary, this is for new grads, you'll probably make about 25 to 30 an hour. And that may not seem like much, but you probably weren't making that before. Probably will have more bills if you don't have bills already. So you got to figure out how you're going to split this $25 to $30 an hour, how you're going to make it work. Probably going to work 3 days a week, so your checks would range from $1,600 to $2,000, and you will get paid bi-weekly. This is for new grad therapists just starting off. If you make this salary currently, then you could also follow along on this part. What I do, my auntie told me when I first started my career, is have one check to pay all my bills and then have one check for myself. So I get paid bi-weekly also. Like I said, I'm a staff therapist right now. Say my check which this is just generic, it's not my real check. Say my check is $2,000. Okay, I know I have to pay my rent. My rent is $1,350. I have my car paid off, thank God. And if you have, like, if you get a sign-on bonus, or you have like I said, a lump sum of money, pay your car off, because then you don't have to worry about a car payment. And that helps me so much, not worrying about a car payment. Like, car payments are expensive. You already have to pay for insurance, so make sure you spend like lump sum of money wisely. Sign-on bonuses, all of that, make sure you spend them wisely. Back to what I was saying, I pay my rent, it's about $1,350. I pay my and I do stay in a studio apartment. Don't be ashamed to stay in a studio or to do what you can afford. Don't live beyond your means just yet. You don't have to get no fancy apartment just yet. Maybe you can during your second year, but if you're not making so much, live comfortably and do what you can afford, because if you spend all your money on an apartment, you're literally just working to pay your bill. $1,350 for my rent, then I pay for my car insurance, and I have 2 cars and it's $300. So that's another thing, search around for the best car insurance. On Jerry, I believe they give you a quote for so many different car insurances, and they'll tell you which one is the cheapest. So definitely do that. And then after I pay my car insurance, my phone bill's like $115, and then what else do I pay? Utilities be like $50. Like I said, I stay in the studio. Don't be ashamed to stay in the studio. Stay in the studio so you could save. Stay down until the come up. Yeah, so anyways, that's what I do with my first check. $2,000. Every bill is paid for. Okay, cool. So honestly, I'm not spending, because I'm not really spending this check because I paid up all my bills. And I know you're probably like, dang, I don't want to use my whole check for my bills, but guess what? Your second check is just for you. So your second check is just for you. So like I said, say I get paid $2,000. So I'm gonna divide that $2,000 by 4. Divided by 4. That's $500 for 4 weeks until I get paid. And you know, the second check of the month you use for your bills, so you have to make sure you're strict on your budget and you're spending $500 only each week. If you know you're getting your hair done or something, and maybe your hair costs more than that, then hey, get a savings book, which I have a savings book, and it has envelopes, and then you could just put cash in the envelopes, and when you put cash in the envelope, it'll build up eventually. So say you're getting your hair done, it's $400, and you don't want to use your whole weekly allowance, is what I would call it, for you to get your hair done. So what you would do, what I do, is I'll say, okay, I know my hair is $450. Let me put $200 here this week, and then $200 here the next week. So once I do that, I could get to $400 when I get my hair done. I really recommend everyone get this book, because it's saving book. It helps you split your money. And honestly, yes, I do pull out cash just so I can be so strict on my budget. If you're going on a trip and you know that your trip is going to be a little expensive, split the payments up. Know you have a $500 allowance, but you could split your payments up. That way you could still afford what you want to do. If you have kids and you have kids, they have something that they need money for, just split the money like that. So you have a $500 allowance every week. Make sure you're strict on that. What I do, honestly, I have multiple banks, so I put it on one bank card, so I know that I can't go over this $500 or pull it out in cash, so you know that this is the $500 you can spend for this week, because you have to be strict. I act like I get paid Thursday nights, because that's when I do get paid. Like this Thursday, I don't get paid, but I'm going to act as if I do get paid. That's when I give myself my weekly allowance. So that's really good strategy to have. It's been working for me for a long time. And yeah, now to saving. What I do is saving, like in my weekly allowance, I do put money aside. So that $500 I may put, like, just depending on what I'm doing for the week, I may put like $200 aside and then just have $300 for the week, or $50 aside, just depending on what's going on. Currently, I'm saving for a house. I need a lot of money for that, so I do put a little more towards that weekly allowance, and I have been working more, so that is what's been helping me save. You can work more, but don't overwork yourself. I'm pretty sure your job, like if you pick up extra shifts, most jobs do, if you pick up extra shifts, you get like a bonus or you get time and a half, so you have extra money. If I was you, I would save that money. And if you feel like, no, I don't want to work so many days at my job, get a PRN, get a side hustle, so you can just save. So what you will be doing is you'll have your money in your weekly allowance. You can either save that. If you pick up an extra shift or two, you know you're saving for something big like a car. Set the money aside that you made additional to your normal income, your normal weekly check, and put that aside for what you're saving for. Or if you have a PRN, what I would do if I had a PRN, I would just use my whole PRN check to save. So you're still saving money, you're still living life, you have a certain amount that you're spending each week, and I feel like living like that is very comfortable. All your bills are paid, you're not working, you're not living paycheck to paycheck. You're always going to have money, you're always going to be comfortable. So whatever you all think about that, I think that's a really good strategy. Like I said, the savings book from Amazon is really amazing, and it's been helping me. I've had it for about 2 months now, and I just been putting money aside. I'm going to Turks and Caicos next week, and I just put in like a little $250 here, $200 here, $100 here, and then by the end of the trip, by the time the trip comes, I'm gonna have $1,000 to spend in Turks and Caicos. And also, Klarna. If you know you gotta get clothes, or if you know you want some bundles or something and they have Klarna, please do not be ashamed to use Klarna. I used to be like, I don't want to use Klarna. Like, I used to be a little bougie like that too. But don't be ashamed to use Klarna, because honestly, Klarna, what it's doing, it's splitting your money up. So say you want some shoes and they're $500. Okay, have Klarna take that out every 2 weeks, and you're still living in your budget. Like, they'll probably like take 100 or something out every 2 weeks. You're still living in your budget because you got those shoes that you really wanted, but you really wanted those shoes, and you're still living within your budget, because instead of taking the 500 off from one check, it's taking 500 off from other checks. And they do that with hair, they do that with plane tickets. I use Klarna for plane tickets. Like, I'm so strict on my budget, I do not play. And once you mess up 1 week with the budget, it will keep going over. And that's what I had to tell myself. Like, if I spend over my budget 1 week, it's gonna fall into the next week, and it's just gonna be like a domino effect. So make sure you're strict on your budget. Like I said, if you have to get another debit card for a bank, load the money that you need for that week. Or if you want to just spend cash, I recommend doing that, because it just helps you be strict and it helps you manage your money very well. If you know you got to spend $60 on gas, just be like, okay, every week I do spend $60 on gas. So just make sure you're implementing these things. Yeah, that's mainly the thing that I will say about saving, spending your money well, managing your money week by week. Like I said, PRNs, get a PRN. Just if you work a PRN, sometimes you only have to work like 2 times every 6 weeks. But if you work 2 times every 6 weeks, that could be your money just to save. Don't overwork yourself. I hate to see people work like 6 days a week, 7 days a week, just so they could afford their lifestyle or pay their bills or pay their rent. Manage your money well, and you won't even have to do all that. I'm big on not working. I do not like to work like that. I'm big on not working, but I manage my money well. I'm buying a house this summer, and I'm still gonna manage my money well. You still will see me on trips. You still will see me living fine, having fun with my friends. You still will see me living the life that I am comfortable living. I still will be paying my mortgage too. So my mortgage and my bills will be paid, and I still will be having a happy and fun lifestyle. So make sure you know that you can do it. Side hustles, including CPR instructor. If you don't want to be at work, or you don't want to pick up a PRN, you could do CPR instructor. That's what I do. If you have any questions about being a CPR instructor, go ahead and DM me on Instagram. It's Plant-Based Lana. And then I also do Turo. So Turo is a good side hustle that I invested in. Get a little cash card and then make all the profit, and then you'll make your profit back, and that'll be your extra income. You do have to get insurance on another card, but if you get a little cash card, the insurance won't even be that high. So yeah, have a side hustle. That can help you save, and that could just give you the extra amount of money you need just to live comfortably. And I'm big on living comfortably. I'm big on being happy. I'm big on having freedom. We're respiratory therapists. We do not have to work more than 3 days a week most times. So if you don't have to work more than 3 days a week, you don't have to stress out trying to work 5 days a week. You know that we work 3 days a week and we have 4 days off for freedom. Make sure you utilize that. Make sure you enjoy your 4 days off. Don't overwork yourself. Do what you can do to make yourself comfortable and not overwork. For the people that are new grads, you will eventually maybe get to travel, and guess what? Your budget will just be bigger. Your budget will just be bigger. You pay your bills up more ahead of time, week by week. You can add more to your savings. You can eventually get more if you decide that, hey, I do want to travel, I do want to get these weekly checks. Or once you hit like 3 or 4 years and you're getting paid like 40 something an hour, you can just do more for your budget. You could save more and spend more. Just do the exact same blueprint that I gave you and just add some tweaks to it because you're making more. I hope this video helped. I hope you all understood what I'm saying. I'm really big on saving. I'm really big on managing money. So if you have any other questions for me, let me know. Hope you like this video. Bye.